that are made when ASUU embarks on strike, that we should fight it to the last. No, that is a wrong conception. You fight no battle to the last. It's always a continuous process. Are you getting my point? So you cannot say, okay, this is the final of strikes. No. But the point I'm making is simple. That even though strikes may be the only language government understands, it may also lead to a deafness at some point. Because if you consider the disruptions, the dislocations that these stoppages of work causes, then you will now discover that, look, yes, we have a point, but the methodology is causing some damage, and nobody is talking seriously about that damage. That is part of my problem with ASUU. ASUU members, my colleagues will tell you, yes, we know, but we must. This is the only language that government understands. For goodness sake, if you continue to speak a certain language, at some point, it may even become so. You may begin to sound like a broken CD plate. So my point is that if my colleagues will agree, one can think of a better strategy. For example, you see, we know that the government is very, very stubborn, and government does not get its priorities right. Sometimes those of us who call for more caution in strikes, our colleagues will challenge us, a senator is collecting so amount, this person is collecting so amount. These are the kind of arguments some of us who are moderate face every time. Why are they collecting this? But my reply is this. You see, I cannot see myself as a senator. I'm not interested. I'm interested in teaching. So our arguments will continue to be not to refer to what other people are earning, but that we deserve to be properly remunerated. And then there should be facilities for us to do our jobs well. Then I also think that sometimes both government and ASUU negotiate on what I may call atmosphere of adversarial atmosphere. Let me give you a simple example. Supposing you and I have an issue, and instead of going to court to stress ourselves, you say, okay, let's get a third person, an arbitration person. The person arbitrates. You give in, I give in. We meet at a center.
That's right.
You will discover that we save ourselves a lot of stress. You know, at some point, government official will make one sarcastic statement. At some point, an ASUU official will respond. You know, you create an atmosphere that makes genuine, sincere, and honest negotiation a little bit difficult.
All right, there's someone on this line. Hello, good evening. Hello. Hello, good evening. All right, we lost the call there. That could be the last tonight. Let me just take some messages so that Prof can...
I must tell you straight up that it is very disgraceful of our universities. And this is part of what I keep telling my colleagues. Yes, we can criticize the government for its ineptitude, corruption, and all that. But then, if we put the mirror on our faces, what do we see? I mean, honorary degrees are intended to recognize those who have contributed meritoriously to the development, first of the institution in particular, or the immediate environment, or the larger community as a whole. But we now see alley cats, people with the morality of alley cats. We see scoundrels. We see all manner of people that cannot even write their names intelligently. And they are parading titles. Sometimes I write my name plainly. You cannot clone Douglas Anele or Preacher. It's my own. People are parading doctors, professors, and people don't know. By convention, you are not supposed to answer doctor except you have a PhD. As a matter of fact, the convention of addressing medical doctors as doctors started sometime towards the end of the 19th century, at the beginning of the 20th century. The only persons that are allowed or that ought to have that title are those that have written a thesis, defended it, and they are awarded a doctorate degree called a PhD. Now, the honoris causa that are given to meritorious men and women. But because...
Where do you find Nigerian university?
Commercialized. When you pay big money in a church, are you not closest to the pastor or GO? And when you pay good money, the vice chancellor gives it to you. The council, they want money. So money is the name of the game. We have idolized money to the extent that the food that is fit for the children are given to the pigs. When the society, you see, people that are complaining, rambling about corruption and all that, go and examine their private lives.
So what do we do?
What we do is that as individuals, we begin a regime of self-critical examination. If you want Nigeria not to be corrupt, in your tiny sphere, don't be corrupt. I'm a professor, I'm a teacher. I shouldn't collect money to pass students. I shouldn't sleep with a girl to pass the girl. And please, you see, the problem, and maybe we need time to discuss this extensively. You know, there's an Ife professor that have been dealt with. Everybody is shouting, crucify him, crucify him. But nobody has asked the fundamental question. What is the view of sexuality of the girl in question and the professor? You see, most people are operating with stupid, antiquated view. Yeah, so my point, let me now round off. You see, if all of us as individuals are serious, instead of sermonizing, complaining, and lamenting, let us try. It's a rigorous exercise to be that change that we want. Period.
In the world. There you go, the punchline.